Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today we're going to continue Amictus, the Bug Queen. Chapter 7, Jungle Duel. How are y'all doing today? Excuse me. Hope you're doing great. Let's get this reading started. There was a rustling sound, and Tom looked up to see Elena emerging from her hiding place. He could see the look of grim determination on her face. She used the shield to swat the babies away. Some of them fell to the ground, injured. Tom watched, horrified, as their wings straightened out again, and they took to the air with the same insistent buzz. They're unstoppable. Elena came closer to Tom, bracing the shield before both of them. They were able to crouch in the dirt with the shield over their bodies and the dense bush behind them. Slowly the buzzing faded and the tiny insects swarmed away towards their mother again. Elena peered over the rim of the shield. "Have you noticed something?" she asked. Tom nervously chewed his lip. "Noticed what?" Elena nodded in the direction of Amictus and her babies. "Well, now that they've driven you away from Amictus, the insects don't seem too interested in attacking. I don't think they're enchanted by Valmel in the way that their mother is." Tom frowned as he gazed across the jungle. He could see the baby insects dancing joyfully in the air around their mother. "I see what you mean," he agreed. "They aren't evil. They're just protective." Tom thought about his mother and the way that he knew he would fight to the death on his behalf. And then he thought of Freya, the mother he long believed dead. Wasn't he putting his own life on the line in the hopes that he would one day set her free from Valmel's magic? "I don't understand that. I can't understand that," he told Elena. "But they're a problem. How are we going to get close to Amictus with the wall of insects in our way?" He took the shield from Elena, lifting it onto his arm. "Can you wait here a bit longer?" Tom asked Elena. "I think I know what I need to do." Elena nodded. "If you need me, just shout," she whispered. Silver crouched in the dirt at her heels, and she pulled him close to her. Behind them, Storm gave a whine, as if he was telling Tom the same thing. Tom moved forwards, revealing himself. Amictus immediately froze, her body disappearing against the camouflage of a giant tree. Tom lifted the brass telescope to his eye and saw her outline. "There's no hiding from me." The beast held out a glowing green claw, hissing as she, too, revealed herself. Her claw pointed towards Tom. The smaller insects turned to face him. Before he had a chance to raise his shield, the air turned dark with movement, and he could feel the renewed attack of hundreds of tiny claws piercing his skin and tugging at his hair. Buzzing rang in his ears, and as Tom stumbled to get away from his attackers, he could only faintly hear a warning cry from Elena. What's Elena spotted? He wondered. Glancing up, he could see that the baby insects had formed a rolling ball that then merged into a dagger shape, pointing towards him. No, Tom whispered, throwing the shield up over his head as the insects darted forwards. The shield shook as the insects smashed their bodies against the wooden boards. Tom felt the muscles in his arms straining as the shield began to be lifted out of his grip. The insects were arranged around the rim and had sunk their claws into the shield's sides to carry it off into the air. They're stealing my shield, Tom cried out in anger as he leaped to his feet, digging his heels into the earth. But his cry melted in his throat as he realized that the insects were winning. One by one, his fingers peeled away from the shield as it was lifted higher and higher. Finally, the wooden shield was torn free of his grip. The insects rose above the tops of the trees and quickly disappeared from sight. Tom's shield with its 6 magical tokens was gone. Here is the baby insects stealing Tom's shield. Slowly he turned around on the spot. Nothing. No beast to be seen. Hands trembling, he pulled the brass telescope from inside his tunic. He gasped as he looked through it. There, beside a huge boulder, stood Amictus. As she moved towards Tom, revealing herself, her eyes glowed with delight, and her green claw shone more brightly than ever with Valmel's evil poison. Tom stood frozen to the spot, willing the gold ring on his finger to turn his body invisible. But more insects started out from amongst the trees of the jungle and attacked him, forcing Tom to duck out of range and render himself invisible. There was nowhere to hide. Tom glanced at the boulder near Amictus. As the beast raised a huge claw, Tom ran towards the rock, scrambling up its side, and reached out a hand towards a tree with twisted branches and low-hanging fruit. Like everything else in this kingdom, the tree was beautiful. But Tom could also see that the fat fruit, round as globes and covered in thorns, would make the perfect line of defense against this particular beast. Tom scrambled further up the tree, leaping from one knotted branch to another. The tree shook and trembled as Amictus swiped her claws amongst the branches, only for them to become stuck in the fruit's ripe yellow flesh. She roared with frustration as she pulled her pincer free. Around the tree, the baby insects had gathered, ready to protect their mother again. But as they saw Tom crouching in the branches, they seemed to hesitate. Their small eyes gazed at him, unblinking. Amictus pointed her green claw at Tom, hissing as if instructing her babies to attack. But they did not move. They don't want to attack me, Tom realized. Elena was right. Valmel's evil curse had not tainted the blood of the young. For the first time in this quest, Tom felt hope fire on in him. I can't defeat Amictus. And that was chapter 9. And chapter 7. Bleh. Bleh. Chapter 7. Jungle Duel. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter. Let me get my water. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, itchy nose. I had hiccups earlier and I was afraid they were gonna still be here when I was recording, but they seem to have gone. They seem to have gone like 5 minutes before I recorded, so that's good. That's cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter of Beast Quest. And I also hope you like, subscribe, hit the bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.